Hi guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head up to Norway, and this is going to be my third visit to Haandbryggeriet. So we're going to Drammen again, of course, and this time we're going to have a look at their Imperial Stout, which is called Odins Tipple, and it comes in at 10.2%, so it should be really nice. The other beers I've tried from Haandbryggeriet before, the Norwegian Wood and the Belgisk IPA, have been really nice, and this one is very highly rated too. 99 overall on Rate Beer and 92 within the Imperial Stout category, so it should be a bit of a beast. You don't get that rating for nothing, and this is a brewery that is really quite highly regarded, so looking forward to this one, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But anyway, as is usual with my beer reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you do want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other reviews that I've done from Haandbryggeriet. I'm sure I'll add more in the near future. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do subscribe to the channel. The whole channel uses a geography-based tagging system, so you can go into the homepage and search for beers based on country, city or state, whatever you're interested in. Do check out the interviews, the sake and whiskey reviews, as well as the other things on the channel. And as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries you guys would like to see me review, especially from Norway, because I'd love to review some more Norwegian beers, and your support for the channel is hugely appreciated. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about Haandbryggeriet. So Haandbryggeriet is from the town of Drammen to the southwest of Oslo, and the town is actually located in the Buskerud county and has a population of around 63,000 people. So the city started off as three separate seaport towns, which were eventually merged together to form Drammen in 1811, and the unique location of the town really made it a bit of a centre for timber and for shipbuilding as well. So Haandbryggeriet was founded in 2005 by Jens Maldel, Rune Eriksson, Arne Eide and Egil Hilde, and their original premises was actually an old textile factory built back in 1874 and was located in the middle of a housing estate, not far in fact from the Aas brewery, but now they've actually moved to a new property in the old train yard in the city. So their brew kit was actually brought over from England and was about 900 litres in capacity per batch, but in 2006 their production was 40,000 litres, and by 2012 they'd expanded this to 350,000 litres by using a new 1,800 litre apparatus. And these guys, as I say, they're quite highly regarded in Norway as producing some really quite nice beers actually, and they're probably one of the better known Norwegian craft breweries. I think they export their beers quite widely now. The first one I tried from these guys I got over in Norway. I've also seen their beers in Scotland actually, and they do appear every so often in the small portiers here in Sweden. So I've had the Belgisk IPA from here. I reviewed the Norwegian Wood when I was in Australia, and now this is another one that's appeared through the small portiers here in Sweden. And if you do want to try some Norwegian beers, Haandbryggeriet are a very solid place to start. The Belgisk IPA is one that I would really recommend, and if you want a more traditional Norwegian style beer, then Norwegian Wood is one that you want to go for. But hopefully I can review the others for you here on the channel, because I've enjoyed all the ones I've done so far. But do let me know some other Norwegian beers and breweries you guys would like to see me review. But anyway, that's enough about the brewery just now, and we will get on to the tasting of this beer itself. So on the back here it says, Odin, the chief god of Norse mythology, was a forceful but complicated being of many moods, the symbol of battle, victory and death, but also of wisdom, poetry and prophecy. With this hearty complex ale, Haandbryggeriet imagined Odin in later years, when his victories on the battlefield were but shadowy memories. His reflections tended towards loftier themes such as life's meaning, and his drink would have been a deep, dark, contemplative one. So yeah, really nicely presented, this guy. I'll just bring up the camera and check that you're seeing this. If I can find my cursor, here we are. So there you are, you can see Odin sitting there on the front of that, chilling, enjoying a beer out of his drinking horn. As a lot of the Nordic metal bands, a lot of the singers in these bands actually carry these things, which is quite cool. There you can see the typical Haandbryggeriet bottle cap on this one. There's the little bit on the back that I read out to you. And this bottle is actually a bit smaller than the other ones. This one's only a 330 and quite an unusual shape actually. But most of the beers I've tried from these guys before, I think both of them actually were in half-litre bottles. So this one should be quite nice. We'll get it out and we'll get on with the tasting then. Really looking forward to this. As I said, 10.2% ABV. So let's get this guy out and into the glass. A wee bit of that just went over my hand there, but it should be alright. Sugar up the last little bit and we'll get the rest of it out into the glass there. So yeah, as you can see, this beer is poured kind of exactly as you would expect from an Imperial Stout. A nice, dark ebony rosewood colour there. You can smell some of the wheat, the kind of sweet chocolate off this one. A solid finger of a frothy kind of beigey tan head there. If I put my fingers behind it, you can see there's no transparency to this beer at all, and that's just because of how dark it is. There's one or two big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass, but quite a few little ones just going up towards the bottom of that head there, looking absolutely lovely, exactly as you would expect from the Imperial Stout, like I said. So yeah, let's take a closer look at the aroma of this one then and see how we get on. So yeah, without sugaring the beer up, it actually doesn't have too kind of prominent an aroma. You've got a nice little bit of bready character just sitting there, some sweet kind of milky chocolates, and you can smell a little bit of a kind of red fruity ester, but also a little bit of the black roasted malts. But let's sugar it up and see what else we can get out of it actually. I won't do it too violently, otherwise it'll go flying everywhere. But yeah, when you sugar it up a little bit more, you start to get more of the kind of toasted brown sugars. There's a little bit of caramel coming out of this one. I'm not sure if it's quite dark enough to be treacle or molasses, but definitely an element of kind of roasted brown sugars to this beer. There's a bit of earthy hop, as you would expect from this style too. Some kind of woody or nutty character. You can just pick up that little bit of sweetness out of this one. And also some nice earthy hop. There's a little bit of a red fruity ester to this beer as well. But that's very, very mild. You can just pick that up a little bit on the end. But like I say, nice earthy hops. A sort of bready base to this one, almost like a kind of rye bread character. Some roasted black malts, quite a lot of sweet chocolate. The chocolate actually is almost dominating the aroma on this one. Some nutty woody characters. Yeah, and a little bit of that black kind of roasted malt base like I was saying. But it smells exactly as you would kind of expect from the Imperial Stout. And you can see the head on this one is just fading away to be a little bit thinner and things, but it smells absolutely lovely. So just take a little bit of time and enjoy the aroma of this one before you get stuck in. These Haandbryggeriet beers can be quite complex, so definitely worth taking the time to just enjoy them a little bit. So yeah, let's get stuck into this guy then. So this one is the Odins Tipple from Haandbryggeriet in Drammen in Norway. Skål. That is nice. That's really quite nice actually. Tried to pin my thoughts on exactly what the flavours are going on in this one, but you'll notice that about this one right away. It's a really big, oily and creamy stout. Really nicely done. Yeah, that's really, really nice. So the hops in this one are really, really smooth actually. Around the edge of the palate, the first thing you're going to notice is that there's a lot of nice, smooth earthiness to this beer. You can feel that, and then the dryness of that builds up as you move further and further into the aftertaste on this beer. That's really quite well done in this one. Yeah, in the middle of your palate you've got this nice kind of almost rye bready malt base, and on top of that, as the flavour progresses, you start to get a little bit more of the kind of the black malts going on, that kind of roasted. It's not really quite a coffee bean flavour, it's not quite as smooth enough to be that, but you can feel these roasted black malts just building up a little bit, and then you get the sweetness from the chocolate on top of that. You can feel some of the toasted kind of brown sugars coming out of this beer too. But that's really nice. It really does feel quite oily and caramelly, this one. When the liquid's on your tongue, you get a lot of caramel out of this beer, I think. But then the chocolate starts to dominate the palate. There's also, as you move further into the aftertaste and you get that more roasted kind of black malt character coming out of this one, you start to pick up more of a woody and nutty flavour in this beer as well. It's really nicely done. But as I always say, when you're tasting these beers, make sure you sugar it around your palate a little bit, because then your whole mouth will adjust to this beer. Some really nice, the earthy character, as I say, just builds and gives you that bit more dryness as you move forward. It's really, it's quite dry at the very back corners of the palate, but as you move further forward on the sides, it does become progressively more smooth. And if you just go behind the front curve of the tongue, you'll get that little oily bubble, and that's where some of these nice kind of fruity characteristics come out. Really, really nice mix of flavours going on in this beer. But that's really nice. If you like your imperial stouts to be a good mix between the roasted characters and then have that nice caramel and sweet chocolatey element going on, this is one that you're really going to quite enjoy. This one isn't too punchy in any regard. It's more about how the flavours kind of blend together, and I do like how the black malt in this one really starts to push its way out as you move into the aftertaste. That's really, really nice in this beer. So if you like that sort of thing, you have to give it a try. There is a little bit of a licoricey flavour mixing in with that that kind of caramel thing that's coming out later on too. I don't think they'll have added licorice to the brew in this one right enough, but it definitely, you can feel it just on the end of the foretaste on this one. Just as you're about to move into the aftertaste, you can feel that almost syrupy licorice character. And like I've said in some other reviews, up here in Scandinavia they really love their licorice, so I wouldn't be surprised if they've put that in this beer actually. It's a really, really popular thing here, so the licorice flavour is one that they all really love. There's a little bit of a red fruity ester on this one as well. As I say, if you just go behind that front curve of the palate, you'll get this oily bubble, and that's where these fruity characters are coming out in this one. There's a bit of figs as you move into the aftertaste, but there's a little bit of a sharper character coming out of it. Initially, I would say maybe it's kind of raisins or plums coming out of it there, and then it just flattens out and gives you that more smooth, lighter, figgy character. But it's got that nice red fruity sharpness, and then it just smooths out, gives you a little bit lighter. There's maybe a bit of a candied ester to it as well. As I always say, some of the red fruity esters really remind me of the Haribo heart-shaped sweets that you get in the Star Mix. It really reminds me of that, but overall this is a really quite nice beer. And this one for me, in the aftertaste, it's leaning more towards the kind of black roasted malts, but in the initial taste it's more to do with the caramel and the chocolate, and that licorice, once your mouth actually kind of picks that up, that does start to kind of dominate the flavour a little bit too, and the kind of woody and nutty elements that are in this beer blend in very nicely as well. So again, this is a very, very solid beer, and I can see why it has the rating it does on Rate Beer. You don't get 99 for nothing, and this one certainly deserves it actually. So if you want a nice kind of tasting dessert beer, this one would actually go really nicely with like chocolate cake or maybe vanilla ice cream with chocolate sauce or something like that. I think with a little bit of vanilla, this beer would be absolutely beautiful. So maybe give it a go with that and see how you get on. But on its own, it is very, very good as well. So in terms of the mouthfeel, this one, I'd say this guy is pretty full-bodied actually. Yeah, definitely full-bodied. This one is really quite heavy in its mouthfeel. It's big and oily. Carbonation is really smooth on it though, but this is a really, really quite oily beer. There's a little bit of creamy character to it, but for me it comes across as really oily and syrupy. There's a good bit of maltiness from the sweetness. As I say, it comes in quite sweet at the start, then the more bitter elements of the malt base start to push their way out towards the end. There's a little bit of dryness in the back corners of the palate from the hops, but as you move further forward, it really smooths out, and you have a little bit of juicy character from the fruits in the front of the palate too. So yeah, really, really nice beer, this one. If you enjoy your imperial stouts, I'm pretty sure you'll like this one. Like I said, Haandbryggeriet are a very, very solid brewery, and if you want to try some Norwegian beers, you can't really go wrong with these guys. So yeah, really, really solid beer from them. Always cool to try a beer that's got Odin's name on it as well. Hail Odin. And yeah, if you want to try some Norwegian beer, make sure you check out Haandbryggeriet. In my opinion, this guy really is deserving of its 99 rating on Rate Beer. It's a good dessert beer. Like I say, chocolate cake or vanilla ice cream would go with this one. You certainly wouldn't session this beer at 10.2%. There is a good little bit of alcohol warmth coming out of this one, as I say, but it's really, really nice, and I would highly recommend that you try it. Anything you try from Haandbryggeriet, I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy. So yeah, thank you for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Let me know your own thoughts on this beer and the brewery in the comment section below. Do check out my other reviews from Haandbryggeriet as well, and let me know what other beers you'd like me to try from these guys. Always interesting to try beers from different beers from the same breweries and things, and always cool to try different beers from different countries too. So let me know some other Norwegian beers and breweries you'd like me to have a look at. But until the next time, slange you just now, and I will catch you very soon. Make sure you check out all the links in the description below, my social media, and please like, subscribe, share. If you get the chance, try the Odins Tipple from Haandbryggeriet, a really, really good Imperial Stout. So until the next time, slange you just now, and I will catch you very soon. Make sure you support your local craft breweries.